All right, my name is Alicia Kaysen. I am doing for project 3 for exceptions. So we're going to start off with my custom exception, which is login verify exception. This class is login verify exception. This is custom exception class. It throws when a user or email validation rule is validated. So we have public class login verify exception extends exception. The constructor, the details error message describing the validation rule of validation, and public long verify exception string message. This will call the constructor of the parent class exception to set the error message. So we're going to call that super. Right, next, so we have is the class long verify. This class is to prevent a verified login credential, set, username, and email. The constructor validates the inputs based on predefined rules. So we're going to have public class verify. We're going to have private string username and private string email for our fields. The constructor, the username will be validated and stored. The email is to be validated and stored, and it's going to throw a login verify exception if either input violates the defined rules. So the purpose of the validate input and initialize fields throws exception on failure. So we have the public login verify string username string email, and it's going to throw that login verify exception. We're going to check the username rules. So we're going to do an if statement with the username dot length. It's going to be less than 8. So the rule must be at least 8 characters long. If not, it will throw a new login exception, and it will remind the user that the username must be at least 8 characters long. We're going to do another if statement. It's going to have special characters, and that's going to be for the username, and must contain at least one special character. I'm going to throw a new login verify exception. If they do not have a special character, the username must contain at least one of these special characters, and it's going to show the special characters that it must contain, or it's going to have that error, or this is going to pop up if they do not. So for the email, we're going to have the email rules. We're going to have the if statement has at least 3 characters before at email. So the rule number 1 must contain at least 3 characters before the at symbol. We're going to throw a new login verify exception, and it's going to remind the user email must contain at least 3 characters before the at symbol. Then we're going to have the email dot ends with, and we're going to say at Hotmail. And this rule is just for must end with at hotmail.com. If it doesn't, it will throw a new login verify exception again. Email cannot end with at Hotmail. If validation pass and we set the fields. So we're going to set our fields here. And we have our validation methods. So checks if the username contains at least one special character, the username, string to check, return true if a special character is found, false otherwise. So we're going to have that Boolean. So private Boolean has special character, string user, and the purpose is to iterate through the string to find if a special character exists. So we're going to create that string special chars, and we're going to put in those special chars that we're looking for, or special characters that we're looking for, and it's to iterate through each character in the username. For char C user dot to char array, and to check if the current character is in the special character string. And we're going to have the if special characters dot index, return true, and found a special character. Return false if no special characters are found. All right, so we check if the email contains at least 3 characters before the at symbol, mail the email string to check, and return true if there are at least 3 characters before at, false otherwise. So again, we're going to set up another Boolean statement. Private Boolean has at least 3 chars before at, It's the purpose to define the index of the at and to check the length of the substring before it. And then we have the int at index equals mail dot index of at. A valid email must contain an at symbol and have at least 3 characters before it, or 3 chars. At index is greater than 2, checks for at least 3 characters, 0, 1, and 2, return. And we have our getters. I'm going to have my gets. And this overrides the default toString method for private printing. Overrides the default toString method for printing the object's contents. It returns a formatted string representation of the long verified object. So we're going to have that override. So override public string, toString, return username plus email. Lastly, we're going to have our main app. And the objective of this is to design and implement a Java application to validate username and email inputs using custom exceptions. The goal is to collect 4 valid sets of credential. The inputs we're going to have is the user inputs a username and an email via the console, which is down here. And then outputs is displays validation rules, error message on failure, and a final printout of the 4 validated long verified objects stored in the array that we are creating. So we're going to import java into scanner so that way we can put in for the users, or the user can put in public class login app. The global constraint for the required array size, private static final, and max user 4. So we're just going to set it to 4. The main method runs the length verification application loop. Arrays command line arguments not used. So we're going to have the public static void main. It's going to collect 4 valid usernames and emails pairs by throwing and catching exceptions. We're going to have that scanner again, new scanner. It declares a array to hold 4 long verified objects. So here the long verified login records equals new login verify. Then we're going to have valid count. It tracks the number of successfully created objects. We're going to set that up. So int valid count. And display the validation rules clearly to the user. So display rules. We're going to print out. We're going to have a printout statement. It's going to start on the next line. Starting account creation loop, target 4 accounts. The loop continues until the array is full. So I'm going to have that while loop going here. And then we're also going to put another try block here. Ask the user for inputs. Going to print out the account. Valid count. We're going to have that system printout. Please enter your username. And then we're also going to have now please enter your email. And again, that scanner so that way the user can input those. We're going to attempt to create a new login verified object. The constructor will throw login verify exception if the inputs are valid. So we got that login verify new login equals new login verify current username and a current email. If the custom exception is not thrown, the inputs are valid and the new object to the array. So we set that up here, login, valid count, new login, system out print, success valid credentials added for the user number. Increment the counter for the valid users. And then we got catch block here for login verify exception E. If an exception is thrown, the custom exception is caught. It's going to print the specific error message to the user. So system out.print validation failed. E.get message. The loop automatically repeats to the prompt for a new attempt. And then we're going to end of the while loop. After the 4 valid usernames and email pairs have been added, we're going to exit the loop and print the array. And then it's going to exit the program. So we got the system out print, program exit. We got the display of the defined user and email. So it's basically giving the rules to the user so they can know what to enter right here. And then we're going to print the contents of the login array using the toString method, the array of login verified objects to print. And the purpose is to iterate through the array and print each stored object. So we're going to print out that array right here. All right, so we're going to demonstrate how this code works. I'm going to bring up everything up here so we can see. So it's going to say enter a username, and we're going to follow the rules the first time to see. So I'm going to put the username a hot little fire, which is fine. And it's going to access the enter email. Okay. I'm going to make it a Gmail. So as you can see, it says validation failed. Username must contain at least one of the special characters, which I did kind of forget to do for the username. So let's try it again. And we're going to put one of the special characters. We're going to put the pound or hashtag sign. Let's do the email again. And as you can see, it says success, credentials are added. So if we put it wrong, it has that validation failed. Username must contain at least one. It's going to remind the user of what they need to add on.